Hi everyone. I wanted to do a very short, fingers crossed, reminder of assistance of when we have something in our playing out in our life that is becoming like a thought repeat form. So if you have we have a cycle of energy, right? So we're like a sphere of energy, a hologram you could describe it as. And because of our mental body in that, our emotional body, or our emotional tools or signposts, I like to refer to them as, because they signal things to us. We don't actually have to stay in them, but they are guiding us like signposts at times. Because we have this in our energy field and our physicality is blended, and we need to take care of ourselves with our auric field of that emanation. That's most important to keep ahead of, so you're taking care of yourself well. But when we've got something that is, we just can't let go of it, it can start to get stuck in our physical field. And we need to try and realize with our mind that if the mind has got something circulating and we keep thinking it, well, we're going to get signs in our body. So we'll get signs like in our gut, our solar plexus. We could get sort of aches and pains on a side of our body, because left and right, and to do with the brain as well, is associated with yin and yang. So if there's too much activity or intensity towards it, then we could be like more tense on the right of the body, have issues on the right, or and then our left side can get weaker. So we want to maintain the balance. And so too with our brain functioning, not too much. You want to blend the rational with the creativity, the ease and flow as well. So you want to balance the left and right there. So the left can be used a lot. So then, because the nervous system changes over at the spine, like it crosses over from the left brain down the right, we can still have intense feelings on the right if we're overactive in the like the logic of living, not necessarily outside of that in spiritual awareness or anything like that. And so too with the right, with the creative side. So what I wanted to get at was, you feel it in your body when you have something going around in your mind or in your life. Now, it may not be happening in your direct vicinity. So that's a sign right there that you need to get yourself present and let go. Because you can take that energy with you wherever you go, and it creates limits in how you access your field, sharing it in other experiences. So I wanted to do a short breathing exercise to do with recognition and letting go. And so if something's repeating, then it's more intense replay. So you're going to have to take probably longer awareness breaths and consciously release, to tell yourself it's not happening right here and now, and you need to release it from your field. And you'll feel refreshed and not keep repeating it. But also, on the other hand, every single one of us goes through interaction in the world, and things can happen abruptly, and you could be attracting in these things because you might not be dealing with something. But sometimes things happen to teach us or show us parts of ourselves to look at. So anyway, you don't need to take everything on, because it will stay in the subconscious for you to look at a later time. It's happened, you're aware of it, but don't take it fully into your underlying, don't let life go into your underlying nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, which is functioning to keep you at a nice homeostasis balance. So I want to remind you that when something happens, you don't have to take it on. So you want to breathe into the fact it's happening. And you also don't want the excess pressure and stress feeling through the body on your adrenals, your kidneys, because that will have you feeling depleted, and that's when, you know, there's exhaustion and other conditions that take place in the body. So the best way for preventative maintenance is to start, if you may already be aware of this already, but don't take everything on energetically, because we have to start remembering that we're energy, and be conscious that we're going to carry it in the body if we let it come in and play nearly like it's moved in to our field, and we'll keep going round and round with it. All right. What we want to do is like hold a space for being a conscious and using conscience that no one's perfect, and things are going to happen to us all of a sudden. Things might even trigger us at depth. This too needs to be released. So you can be conscious of both when you do some breathing release. And we're getting to that part because there's breathing involved, because the person has to realize that we restrict our breathing and we could carry the energy, or consciously be aware of what's going on, aware of our breathing associated directly, and using our mind wisely, not completely let the heart soul energy field get involved, but just hold a space for this kind of interaction is going to happen. Okay, so it does take some it's like emergency services. They have to deal with emergencies all the time. So if they were to take in everything as though it was their responsibility, or being a perfect human meant that they knew exactly what to do, you know, because sometimes we take things on as though we should take this on because we should have known better or something. But we're not perfect, so we are here to learn. So I just want, for your health foundation reasons, just to be aware that consciousness is a space. It's not a person directly to a person, and it looks it's just an argument, or it's just a disagreement, or something is said to you and, you know, that person isn't so conscious, etc. It's actually energy, and you don't have to exchange with it. You can hold a space for observation, and you get better and better at that over time through breath. through the conscious awareness that you hold in space and through releasing it in the moment through the breath, the consciousness and the breath. Because it's the flow cycle that you are not going to restrict and take on exactly what is being fed to you in the energy, the flow of the energy. Okay, because when we feel sensitive, or sensitivity can come from not feeling like we can express ourselves easy, so we carry around these feelings of sensitivity. But if we're able to connect with like-minded beings, then we don't feel like we're so alone and sensitive. So you can come from that aspect, or someone who doesn't feel connected to their sensitivity at all and they have a tough shell. So both can happen, even in the same person at different times, but even some people just have one or the other. So it really is opening up the energetic function aspect of our whole being and not taking in energetically what we're seeing or what the world wants to offer. Because you have to have a strength of heart that says none of us are perfect and we're all here, doing the best we can. So then before you let the energy come in as though it's telling you what to do, you'll have more development of a foundation that says we're all souls, It's just this, it builds a foundation that we're all souls, and you'll stand by that and you'll express your truth so that the world doesn't get in past your voice and become you, their voice or the energy become more of you. Then you have the inner strength to say, none of us are perfect, and this is how I feel, or I don't have to respond at this time. I can just observe this and not let it in. And what else would I say to that as well? Intensity. So at times we have to meet energetically without responding or reacting to intensity on the outside. So you can do that silently without reacting to invite more of that in. So this is again the strengthening determination of one's own self and field, and you get to know your soul and self more and stand up for it, that even when it is quietly said to you or loudly or depending on what force, you still don't have to take it in. Okay? Sometimes we will, because the soul in us and the soul in others in the world, we're going to interact to learn things, to instigate and shake the field a little bit to see how we strengthen and deal with challenges. But when it comes to things getting on top of us, and then we can't get our wheels rolling or the ball rolling where we feel we'd like to or really want to, well, that's where we have to just come home to ourselves. And because it could be something that's repeating, and then it's easily triggering anything else because the underlying is repeating. So you want to shift this, okay? So you have to accept the aspect that it's intense energy, but you want to release it. So you're going to have to breathe into it, which is sometimes you can't pinpoint why, how long, how did it start, why am I carrying it, why does it easily have this effect on me. You just got to feel the It's a textural, even textural in the invisible cycle of us, the flow of our energy field. You feel the intensity and you put whatever description you want to on it. This feels heavy, this feels yuck, this feels slow, it's unpredictable, I'm just sick of feeling this way, etc., etc. Whatever comes through as you're describing it might highlight how to let it go. So the next thing in realizing what you may be repeating, whether it's taking charge of someone else or feeling that you are weak from something that's occurred to you, right? These are things we want to let go of because they have no use in our field repeating. Okay? They are doing a disservice to our physicality and our mind emotion functioning, limiting us in our inner strength, physical strength, and our communications with the wider whole, with our lives. So you named it somewhat. You want to shift it. Energy has all different nature. Like it can feel like this isn't gonna shift. This feels sticky even, you know. It will take a period of time, but you got to make a start. And this is ideas of how to make your energy field conscious to you. So you work with it. So next time, and more of the times, different things are coming at you, remind yourself, you're not a baggage carrier. You're not here to carry anyone's stuff. Okay, everyone can talk to each other in a nice way, sometimes determined, sometimes direct, but still we take a breath. We're not in control of them, so there's no use to attach with react unless it's needing that in the moment. But just remember, respect for your field means deal with them respectfully as well, because this is all the energy, nature that becomes you. So you want to keep it of high resonance. You don't have to carry baggage. And the clearer you get with this, the clearer your heart and soul will express itself. Because your solar plexus and heart wants you, the human, to express it, express the soul clearly, openly, honestly, truthfully, lightly, expressively, with your vocabulary and expansion as, you know, the intelligence, the infinite intelligence we're connected to, and on the planet, the infinite intelligence around us that everyone is connected to, our interactions to grow and strengthen in this way, so that from moment to moment, it becomes more spontaneous energy, and we have our intellect and intelligence on this planet well aware of functioning, but let's not limit that to its true expanse. So don't become a baggage carrier. Use your inner being, truth, intellect of expression coupled with your intelligence of all. And most importantly, not being a baggage carrier of short or long term allows that opening to continue of oneself. So let's go to just back to We've described how we feel, and now we have to breathe through, love our being, and let it. What's heavy, what's strong, what's sticky, we just can't shake. We've got to let it go. We've got to let it go. And in the letting go of something, there will be messages. So get the messages. You might get, aha, I know why that happened. You might get, and want to write some stuff down to get it out. You might be, so thankful to let go of that relationship or not be involved in that. That's what it was. Okay, so we're not perfect. We're going to take on stuff sometimes where we're doing our best to try and recover ourselves. Because we feel at a loss when we take on others' stuff. Okay? But it's not to say we weren't involved in the creation of the mix of it. We take responsibility for our part in interaction. Everything is relational. Nothing just came at you for no reason. Although sometimes it is a strengthening when things do. You know, life tests us in different ways sometimes just to see how you are dealing with something and where you can strengthen. So it's not a blame, it's all a learning. We're always a student and a teacher. And there's no specific time frames and agendas of that. Except that sometimes in the moment, it might be better for you to hold space. And that could be a learning for you. Hold space for others. Or you might need to feel braver to step in and share something without, a controlling nature, but of a sharing nature, a brave nature to offer something. Okay? So you accept that in some way the interaction occurred and no one is essentially to blame because they're not in your field right now. Like once, if you're carrying stuff after a while or something, they're not in your field right now. So the interaction taught something, learned something, both or many take away something. That's, I know it doesn't sound like it, but that's your jewels and gems. Our field needs to function optimally going forward. Okay, so that's our treasures on planet Earth. We open our chest and say, I got the message. It doesn't always happen that clearly, but this is life itself. So you will, like I said, there'll be something, and even if there isn't right now, you're an ongoing energy field and it may have taught you something ongoing. Or you are to express yourself more ongoing. So there's really no reason for us to suffer, to hold on to stuff in our energy field, because the truth is we are this energy field ongoing. You don't want to carry around a bag of energy that's called your field. Okay, you want to give yourself the best chance possible to free up your energy, consciously learning each step of the way through this beautiful temporary journey. Sometimes not so beautiful feelings, but that's the inner strength, the shedding, the quiet learning, the reaching out with some emotion learning, the settling, the love in calm and connection and support, etc. So please don't be carriers of too much stuff. Remember you're a light being field. Okay, this is all light being consciousness resonance, and being conscious of that to live your best life possible. 25 minutes. I swear to God, I try and make these shorter. But I will not stop myself or get in the way when I'm in a bit of flow of guidance. There's just too much of a vast message. I'm sure all of us know that once your heart and soul kicks off and sharing something, it's hard to stop. So just for the last 4 or so minutes, we can finish off at the 30-minute mark. Let's do that. From my talking, you would have got an idea of how you're feeling, where in your physical body you may have ailments, not able to figure out why they're reoccurring, because it all relates. The mind and emotions are not separate to the physicality. Okay, so whether you're overworking physically, or if you've got stuff constantly on your mind and you're not resting enough, well, if each of those things are going to lodge, okay? And you need to loosen, lighten up, in all meaning of that. So, you know, if you're sitting too much, you need to loosen up and get flow through your spirit with happiness, joy. Let spontaneity happen. Feel that freedom of spirit again. Like, do something spontaneous. Allow yourself the freedom of spontaneity. But let's just breathe into whatever we could be holding, and let's spread some light there. So from the heavens to this beautiful supportive earth that we're on, and she is supported too. We're all divine nature. So she helps us with clearing. You are supported. If you want to consciously work your way into your center and believe that you are divine nature in there, and you will let more light come in and assist you with any form of ailment. If you've got something bogged down in an issue, well, that issue might manifest in form. So let's clear it and let some light in. And you can command this, obviously lovingly, but the command means it's determinedly one with. I request the flow of divine white light for my heart and soul through my field now, to cleanse and clean things that I may be keeping that are weighing me down. I want to be a fresh and clear cycle, and I want to walk forward as a fresh and renewed, rejuvenated spirit, soul portal of love and light, ongoing always. Can I please request your assistance to keep an eye over me and highlight ways I am listening? Please highlight ways, and I will work with you, co-creator, God, light, source. I am listening, and I promise to honor all sacred guidance you offer by doing my best to sometimes put my chin to my chest in a bow, to go quiet in here and wait. This may take time for me to get that quiet steadiness and disciplined resolve to quiet and wait to hear you. But I accept all love inflow in this moment and any moment. I call on you to help me resolve anything I may not be surrendering quite easily. I am sure and I know this is not a part of my heart and soul that I want to carry at all or anymore. I surrender it to you now. And in moments moving forward, the brief description of that would be, I give it to God. I'm feeling all this stuff, or I'm feeling this thing that just came at me. I give it to God. And bow your head with thanks. You can do that without the physical movements, or you can pull yourself away and just say it to yourself. You can redirect and say, I give this to God. But there will always be a conscience aspect to it. So allow yourself to be a part of the resignation to God and still receive the rejuvenating element to that, which can be of various degree and intensity. God bless everybody. Thanks for joining me. Be back again soon, I'm sure. Take care and bye for now. Don't forget to take that time out. Much love. God bless.